Hello everyone, I am Leela Krishna from ENHI Secure and thank you for joining the session. In today's presentation, we will be discussing about Okta Access Request by using Okta workflows to automate the lifecycle management. Before getting into the use case, we shall have a brief about Okta Identity Governance and Administration and the modules present in it. So let us outline our agenda for today's session. And this is our agenda for today's session. We will start with the introduction of Okta IGA and the modules with an use case overview with the prerequisites for the integration flow, with an integration flow and the working flow, and wind up the session with the benefits. So let's get started with an introduction about Okta Identity Governance and Administration. Okta, a leading identity and access management solution that provides wide array of tools to protect the identities and the way users access the resources of the organizations. The products that are offered by Okta are identity governance, privileged access management, identity threat protection, single sign-on and multi-factor authentication, and many more. Okta Identity Governance, a unified IAM solution which provides governance to improve the enterprise's security that helps organizations to mitigate modern security risk and improve efficiency. Okta IGA includes modules such as Okta Access Governance, Workflows, and Lifecycle Management. Okta Access Governance is the combination of access request, access certifications, entitlement management, as well as reporting and auditing. Okta Workflows offers a user-friendly platform for automating the business process, such as managing the user provisioning lifecycle by utilizing a collection of integrated third-party applications and the functions. It provides a wide range of solutions to automate the security of the organization identities and resources. Okta Lifecycle Management is a service that is utilized by the organizations to synchronize the identities from various profile sources like directories, HR management systems, and other identity sources to the target applications by automating the process of joining, moving, and leaving employees. Now, let's examine the use case overview and see how this product assists in addressing the use case. An organization with a huge workforce utilizes various applications that are integrated with Okta for single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. Access requests are currently submitted via an email, which involves a multi-level approval process, which is time-consuming and lacks real-time feedback. IT administrators or application teams are required to manually provision users onto the application, which results in high administrative cost and potential for human error. Additionally, deprovisioning must be carried out so as to avoid security risk. To reduce the security risk and automate the process for the access request and the approvals, provisioning and deprovisioning, we will utilize the Okta Access Request workflows and establish communication via Microsoft Teams to address this issue. Now let's review the prerequisites to start with the integration. These are the prerequisites that to be checked before getting into the integration. An Okta tenant with a super administrator account which has access to Okta IGA and the workflows, which is pre-integrated with Salesforce as well as Office 365 applications. And an Azure tenant with two accounts, one with Teams user and application administrator privilege and the other with Teams administrator privilege, which will be used as service account, and an Salesforce tenant with system administrator privilege. So with these prerequisites checked, let's see the integration flow. To execute the use case, the integration procedure begins by establishing the link between Okta Access Request and Microsoft Teams. Once the connection is successfully made, it is necessary to assign the Okta chatbot application to a team, enabling users within that team to request access. Next, within the Okta workflows, we must incorporate connections for the Salesforce, Azure, and Microsoft Teams applications. The account used to set up the Azure and Microsoft Teams connections must be the service user account. Upon establishing successful connections, we will develop delegated workflows in Okta workflows and establish a custom admin role to execute the delegated workflows. This role will be utilized by Access Request Service User to automatically initiate workflows for provisioning and deprovisioning activities. Once the workflow has been developed and assigned to the service user, the next step is to form a team in the Okta Access Request app and establish the request type, which includes the requester needs, business justification, and the access time they require. The request type should also incorporate approval task, along with the justification for the denial response and tasks that will be executing the delegated workflows. Upon successfully finishing the previous steps, we can make the request type available for the users to request access to the Salesforce application through Microsoft Teams. Now let's examine the user access workflow to gain a better insight into the access request. In the working flow, a user requests access to the Salesforce by communicating with the Okta chatbot, which is integrated with Okta Access Request. Once the request is successfully submitted, the Okta Access Request user initiates workflows to inform the requester's manager via Teams using the Teams service account. Upon receiving the notification about the request, the manager is assigned an approval task. If the manager approves the request, Okta Access Request service user activates the provisioning workflow and assigns the application to the end user dashboard. After the period requested by the requester, the service user triggers the deprovisioning workflow and alerts both the requester and the manager regarding the revocation of access. If the manager declines the request, they are prompted to provide a justification for the denial, after which a workflow is activated to inform the requester with the reason of rejection. The user can then apply for the access to the same application by submitting the required information to obtain the access by following the guidelines shared in the reason section. So by getting a clear insight with the working flow, let's move on to the benefits. Here are some benefits of using Okta Access Request with workflows. A strong security posture will be built by ensuring just-in-time access. Human error gets reduced by using Okta workflows for the automation of user provisioning and deprovisioning. As every aspect is automated, it reduces the IT overhead. By requesting access through Teams, it is made easier for requesting access. Due to the automation of access request, approval task, provisioning and deprovisioning, overall productivity of the organization gets increased. This concludes our session. Thanks for hearing out and hope this was informative. Thank you.